Hey, welcome to another Mixed Media Monday. I'm Eric Scott, and like most Mondays, I'm here to share some kind of mixed media with you. To be honest, today is I've been well, I've been quite busy, and so I'm not really like feeling this today. I bet a lot of you can kind of relate. You know, you sit down, you're like, oh, I want to make some art. I finally have some time. And then you're just kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. Part of it is that last week I was busy at a conference in New York City. This week I've been busy getting ready for my upcoming online workshop. But yeah, so I'm kind of like racking my brain, like, oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to make? What do I want to share? And I really just kind of feel like I'm not going to do anything new or different. Actually, I'm kind of thinking about what I did last week using the graphite, and it's just something that's been kind of sitting in the back of my head. And I think I'm just going to use that. I'm going to use a smaller piece of paper, so hopefully this won't be as long of a video as last week, but yeah, I'm just going to use the water-soluble graphite and that matte, that Faber-Castell Pitt graphite matte, those new pencils that I had. I just love coming back to using graphite and using shading, and there's just something very calming and mindful about it. I really get caught up in just that meditative quality of shading. So that's kind of where I'm coming at from today. So anyway, if you want to join in, grab your materials and we'll get started. If you just want to watch, awesome as well. And as always, if you have questions or comments or concerns, pop them into the comments and I'll try to respond to them. So anyway, let me go ahead and switch this over and I'll get started. So I'm working with a smaller piece of paper today, that 4x4 that I've been pretty fond of. I've got my 8B water-soluble graphite from Faber-Castell. And yeah, I just want to, just very similar to what I did last week, just going to play around. I'm just going to, yeah, I don't know what's going to come about from it. So I'm just going to kind of sketch in, you know, getting kind of the basic composition going with it. And then we'll kind of see what happens. Maybe today I'll put in some squares and rectangles down the one side. All right, so it's very, let me see if I can adjust that. That's the problem. Sometimes I think I've got it set up just right, and then it's like, oh no. Oop, got a little too dark there. That's probably pretty good there. All right, just gonna go ahead. Just gonna paint over this and let the graphite blend, and probably won't get rid of all of the lines. So it just allows me to get a little bit of the graphite down, spread it around. So the lines will stay there, but they're just a little bit fainter. All right, let's go ahead and hit that with the hair dryer. So I do want to make sure that I'm drying it completely, just because the graphite's going to go down much smoother. If that paper is a little bit damp, sometimes it can can prevent the graphite from going down smoothly. So I'm kind of sketching back in some of those lines, and this is where I'm going to start to think about, oops, just realized I must have picked up some pencil or something from the surface, the table. Oh well. So thinking about, where the shadow is going to be, where the shading is going to be. Get some diagonal lines in there. Maybe a little bit of a rectangle there. So I'm not like super concerned yet that, I've really established all the darks, just kind of slowly building up to it. I'm just using the same water-soluble graphite pencil, that 8B. So even though it does come in different hardnesses and different values, I just find that using an 8B and then really just kind of playing around with how much of the pigment I put down and how hard I'm pressing. And then that way I don't have to try to keep track of all these different pencils. So I think while I'm doing this, I want to soften that a little bit. So just paint a little bit of water. Let that edge soften and bleed a little bit. Nice thing is, since this is water soluble, that if I have like a sharp line, I can come back with a little bit of water, try to blend it out a little bit. Not going to be worried too much about it because I can really fix that up with the with this kind of graphite. Go ahead and dry it. Okay. Yeah, I find that sometimes with the paintbrush, I'm not very steady, and so my edges get a little bit wonky. And so I like going back with the regular graphite on top of it. Okay, don't want to forget about this little part in here. One of the reasons I like to kind of jump around as I work on this, that way some spots can dry while I work on other spots. Sometimes I feel like there's too much water on my brush, so I'm just wiping it on the paper that I have down just to get rid of some of that. All right, let's go ahead and try it. All right. So I'm going to start with a 4B, kind of work my way up. So yeah, I just love the fact that I can take the pencil and kind of even up the edges. Make them a little less wonky. There was this little line there from whenever I sketched it out, so I thought I might go ahead and kind of pull that in just to, it's a little detail. Maybe it'll add some interest. All right, that's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and jump up here to the 12V, get some really dark values. Realize that I didn't do anything with this little rectangle over here. Okay, I can probably work on it more, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for today. So I'll go ahead and sign that. All right. All right. I hope you don't mind kind of seeing something very similar to what I did last week. Just, kind of diving in and using those materials again, partly just because, I just kind of needed to kind of work with them, kind of been thinking about them, just really love that combination. So just worked on something a little bit smaller and maybe a slightly different kind of take on it. I don't know, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, pop them into the comments and I'll try to respond. And if you've been enjoying this series, I don't know what I am on now, but I've been doing it for quite a while. Please make sure you're sharing it, let people know about it. And of course, if you don't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And anytime I drop a new video, you'll see it. So anyway, thank you so much. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, happy creating.